Once again, I am your chairman, Barcelona. Although later on, our president, earlier, is taking over from me to chair today's session. In any case, the Agribusinesses and Countryside Development Foundation, in partnership with the Management Association of the Philippines, is a non-profit member-supported foundation. If you are joining us 2 weeks later through our social media, welcome, and we hope you enjoy today's session on the vibrant bonsai and Suiseki community of the Philippines and business opportunities that they're here to discuss with us this morning in this ancient and esteemed art throughout the world. If you are interested in gaining access to our speakers and our wide network of countryside and agribusiness development organizations, do consider joining us as a member. Uh, we have our links in our description. You can send us an email. So this morning we will be discussing business opportunities in Bonsai and Suiseki, and we have three speakers from our community of Bonsai and Suiseki Philippines. Our research speakers this morning are Susan Lee, President of the Bonsai and Suiseki Alliance of the Philippines Incorporated, Nolan Sison, BCI Convention Executive Officer and founder of the Bonsai Institute of the Philippines, the 120,000 members, and Dr. Nestor Aure, BISAPI Board Director. So if I may invite our three speakers, please go ahead and share with us your experiences and your opportunities for please go ahead.
Hello, a blessed day to everyone. I am Susan Lee, Board Director of Bonsai Clubs International, BCI, and the President of the biggest bonsai federation in the Philippines, the Bonsai and Suiseki Alliance of the Philippines Incorporated, or BSAPI, BSAPI. With 126 provincial, city, and municipal club members under its wings from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. I am here to endorse bonsai as a lucrative business. Please let me clear the air that I'm not a bonsai businesswoman nor a bonsai farmer. I buy and collect bonsai. My tree just won the best in show in the BCI convention last month. I'm here. This is the reason why I brought with me the founder of Bonsai Institute of the Philippines with 124,000 members, Mr. Nolan Sison, to explain to you in details how one can make money in bonsai. Just an example, BSAPI recently hosted the biggest bonsai convention ever, the Bonsai Clubs International Convention in Vigan City. On April 30 to May 3, 2023, participated by more than 400 delegates here and from abroad. One juniper tree, masterfully styled by the famous Taiwanese bonsai master Lee Xiong-hong, fetched an auction bid of 1.35 million. So, please put in mind that the price of bonsai is influenced by its beauty, trophies, and species. And also here with us, I will talk about the bonsai, what is bonsai and Suiseki. Later, after Nolan Sison has explained how to make money in bonsai. Thank you and have a nice day. Mr. Nolan Sison, you have the floor now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma'am Susan. There are 3 points of my talk this morning. The economics of bonsai, how to make money in bonsai, and getting real. Okay, so first, the economics of bonsai. Bonsai is being collected by people. One, as a trophy, meaning it's a triumph of controlling nature as it is, like a tree, making it small, okay, and they display it in their garden, okay, and two, it's to jumpstart or kick off their social life, because you'll get many friends when you're into bonsai. Okay, and third, people go into bonsai because of the business. Okay, this is altogether a different animal. Okay, because we're not talking about quantities or weight. Okay, to have money from bonsai, we're talking about beauty. So the pricing of bonsai is very subjective. Okay, if the bonsai is ugly, the price is also ugly. If your bonsai is beautiful, of course, the price is also beautiful. And like Ma'am Susan said, um, it is also influenced by trophies. People join in shows because it is a testament that what they did is right. Okay, if they get trophies from bonsai shows, if you get trophies from bonsai shows, your bonsai will double, triple, or even multiply 10 times in value. Okay, if you get trophies in shows. Okay, and third, as what Ma'am Susan said, the master who styled your bonsai. Okay, if you have high caliber international masters, the price of your bonsai will go up. Okay, if you just did it yourself and you have no name in the industry, then the price of your bonsai would be I could call it the average. Okay. Now that you know the basic on how a bonsai is priced, okay. Some people are going into it because they want it as pets. Okay, they're living creatures. They're not messy. They're not noisy. So they consider them as pets. Okay, and some other people, because of their culture, they buy bonsai because of social status. Okay, in Taiwan, China, and Japan, they call these people scholars. Why? Because they can appreciate the beauty of a small tree. Okay, so it is within their culture. Uh, in Japan, it is even within their religion. Okay, honoring uh, all living things, the Shinto religion. Okay, so these three countries, Taiwan, China, and Japan, have well-developed bonsai industry because it is within their culture and it is within their religion. Okay, all other countries like the Philippines, we are in the, shall we call it, startup mode. Okay, um, these countries like Taiwan and Japan have a booming bonsai industry because they're marketing it to China. And China has a very big population. Okay. In the Philippines, we have not yet developed an international market. So we just sell bonsai domestically. I know some exporters of bonsai, but it's not that strong yet because some other countries buy their bonsai in those developed bonsai business areas like Taiwan, Japan, and China. Okay, the business side of bonsai. We have been telling our students in the Bonsai Institute of the Philippines to go into bonsai farming because it's sustainable. Um, right now, we have a few bonsai farms being established in the country, but still, people are hunting in the wilds and selling these bonsai materials to collectors like Ma'am Susan and me. Um, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not sustainable. They say that if there's a quarry or subdivision development or mall development, they rescue these trees being uprooted by the bulldozers. Yeah, we're there, but some even go to places like high cliffs and get those very nice bonsai materials growing on the rocky face of the cliffs. Buwis buhay, or it's too dangerous. Uh, while in bonsai farming, you just took down, uproot it, and that's it. And you make money from it. Okay. And it is expandable and it's sustainable. Okay. How to make money in bonsai? Okay. I am now in the second part. Bonsai starts usually in the farms. It starts with cuttings. I just made a cup in my garden. So this is a cutting. It's a cut of a branch. Okay. There are two types of bonsai species for bonsai farmers. One is those species that grow in cuttings, and two, those who cannot grow in cuttings. So if I push this down to the soil, it grows, and I can develop it as a bonsai. But in other species like Bantige, Sampalok, Tamarind, Bantige, Pemphigus acidula, and Kamuning, Muraya exotica, you cannot cut the branch and push it on the ground. They won't grow. Okay. Some say they can grow cuttings, but maybe these are 5% or 1%, meaning they develop 100 cuttings and only 5 or 3 or 2 grew, and it's not a good business sense. So, but with some species, they're 100%. They grow in cuttings, like this one, hibiscus, argao, or Premna microphilia, the Taiwanese variety because they have small leaves. What else? The ficus, they're popular. Okay, they can grow in cuttings. Bougainvillea or bougainville species, Bougainville spectabilis, and the vitex, the Molave or Tugas, or the Vitex parviflora. These are popular species in bonsai because they grow in cuttings, and we also recommend them to do it in farming. Okay, cuttings are free. You just cut it from the branch and push it on the ground. Okay, if it is directly developed on the soil, the development is double. Meaning, if you develop it on a pot, okay, you restricted the growth of the roots because it's potted. Okay. I call it, it's a jailed bonsai. So the development is slow. But if you push them directly on the ground, like a rice field or a vegetable field, they grow so fast. Okay. This one is free. Remember that. Cuttings are free. Okay. So You just make the ideal cut. Okay, cut it. Okay, and this one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 7 nodes. It's an ideal for bonsai farming. Nodes, by the way, are where the leaves grow from, and the future branch will grow there. Okay, so just push this down on the soil, and with the proper care, like if it is an irrigated field, the better. Okay, put some fertilizer. It grows vigorously. Then you make some cuts when the branches are growing so wild. You have to cut it, and maybe after 5 years, okay, that cutting will be like this. It's a bonsai. Can everybody see it? This is
Yes.
a 5-year-old hibiscus. But remember, if it is in the farm or indirectly planted on the soil, the development time is cut by half because it grows so fast. So you can have a bonsai like that for 2.5 years. Okay. Remember, this came from a free cuttings, and this one would cost in the market 5,000 to 10,000 pesos a piece. Again, depending on its beauty. Okay. Now, let me ask everyone to bring out your calculator or your phone. If you're not using your phone over the Zoom, you can bring it out. Okay. If I plant this one at 1 meter distance, okay, in a 1 hectare land, so how many cuttings can I plant in 1 hectare? 1 hectare. Anyone? If I plant this cutting 1 meter apart, how many cuttings should I plant in 1 hectare of land? 1 hectare is, I think, 10,000 square meters. So I can plant 10,000, right? Yeah, 10,000. What if I will plant this at half-meter apart? So my cuttings will be doubled in 1 hectare. So I can plant 20,000 cuttings in 1 hectare. Okay, 20,000. Okay. If after 2.5 or 3 years, I will harvest this bonsai from a 1 hectare of land. Okay. So I said the cost of that is 10,000. So 20,000 times 10,000 equals 200 million pesos per hectare. Okay, but wait, that's not it. Okay, because the price of bonsai is also dictated by market. What if I'll give it at half the price at a wholesale deal with the bonsai seller or a bonsai exporter? So from 10,000, let's make it at 5,000 per bonsai. Still, you'll get 100 million pesos per hectare. Okay, so theoretically, that's the economics of bonsai. But the third part of my talk is getting real. Let's get real. Okay. Do we have a market? domestic market, it depends on the price. Okay. A lot of people are going into bonsai, especially during the lockdown period, because they have nothing to do. So they went into gardening, ornamental plants, and making bonsai themselves. You have to know first. There's a dogma in business that you won't and you won't dive into the business if you don't know it. So first, you have to know what you're getting into. Okay, uh, you have to be competent enough to deal with this kind of business. Okay, grow bonsai yourselves. Okay, two, know the market. Talk to the owners of bonsai shops. Uh, talk to exporters, and even talk to the collectors. Uh, go to bonsai shows. Okay. And third, if you're really into it, okay, experiment first in your garden. Okay, plant cuttings on the soil in your garden and try developing it. And after knowing the technique on how to develop a bonsai, then you can now mass produce it in a farm. Okay. In other countries, they have vast bonsai farms. You just go there and they ask you how many bonsai would you be buying, and you said, I only three. They'll give you 3 flags. Okay, so a buyer holds 3 flags, and if I like a material growing on the soil, I'll just put my flag on it. Okay, because the gardener would follow the flag, uproot the bonsai, and bring it back to the shaded area. Okay, so that's how they do it in other countries. Here in the Philippines, we have bonsai farms that started in Lawak, Pangasinan. This is I think, a Sampalok farm. And the bonsai farmer was so happy with the proceeds of his Sampalok bonsai. So I think the 1 hectare became a 6-hectare bonsai farm. Okay. Another one is being developed in Villasis by Congressman Michael Morden. I know of a bonsai farm in Nueva Ecija. It's all bougainvillea, and it's now exporting bougainvillea bonsai, flowering bonsai, and some other parts all over the country. Some bonsai farms are on a startup mode, half hectare, 1/4 hectare. And I'm happy with that because finally, sustainable bonsai is now happening. I think that's it. I just gave you the overview on how to make business on bonsai, and as I said before, the price is subjective. It's all about beauty. It's not about kilos, and it's not about quantity. It's not about quantity because most of the bonsai sellers give away their bonsai for free. Okay, if I buy a very beautiful bonsai worth something like 20 or 50,000 pesos per bonsai, okay, there's what we call a freebie or a gift. So they give away some slow selling bonsai to that customer as a way of saying thank you. So it's not about quantity because they give it away for free. It's always about beauty. Okay, remember that. Bonsai price is dictated by its beauty.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to introduce you to the world of bonsai, the ancient art of miniature tree cultivation. Bonsai originated in China and was later adopted by the Japanese centuries ago. The word bonsai means planted in a container or tea in a pot. Bonsai is the art of growing plants in small containers that are pruned and shaped using wires to resemble fully grown trees. This art form is blend of botany, horticulture, and aesthetic. And that is very important. Bonsai has become increasingly popular over the years, and people across the globe have come to love this peaceful and serene cultivation of nature. A bonsai tree enhances the beauty of any living space, providing both calming energy and a contemplative focal point for your home or office. Bonsai is much more than simple gardening. It requires a combination of patience, skill, and dedication. It is an ongoing process that requires regular care and attention to details. A bonsai tree must be protected from pests, diseases, and harsh weather, while also receiving the necessary nutrients and water required for growth. One of the most rewarding aspects of bonsai is the careful pruning and shaping of the tree and wiring. The process can take years to perfect, but the results are breathtaking. By trimming back certain branches and leaves and sculpting the tree's shape, the artist can create a breathtaking miniature version of a full-scale tree. The art of bonsai is much more than simply caring for the tree. It is also about the mindfulness and serenity it provides. As you tend to your bonsai, you will find that you become more patient, focused, and connected with your natural surroundings. The art of bonsai is a perfect way to find peace of mind in an increasingly busy world. In conclusion, bonsai is an ancient art form that continues to captivate people around the world. It is much more than simply planting a tree in a pot. It is a combination of patience, skill, devotion that requires ongoing care and attention. But the results are worth the effort. The miniature tree becomes a peaceful and calming presence in your home or office. Plus, maintaining a bonsai tree is a great way to find mindfulness and serenity in your daily life. Thank you for joining me on this brief introduction to the art of bonsai.
Thank you so much, Nestor. You know, I was joking about cash and beauty. Beauty is more important than cash, but you come in with the third aspect, which is peace within yourself and communing with nature. Nestor, great. We see your beautiful face now. Great. You're now on video as well. The rest of you, you can put on your video if you wish now. All right. Okay. So, well, Miss Susan, you know, we'd like to thank Mr. Nolan and, of course, Dr. Nestor. No? All right. Now, Susan, you're the president here. So I will, well, I'll ask you to say a few things. They will open the forum. Would you like to say anything else before we open the forum? Nestor and Nolan are here with you. Shall I open the forum?
Yeah, you can open the forum now.
I always said that it's the pricing is based on beauty, but many might be asking, what is a beautiful bonsai? How do you derive beauty from bonsai? Well, it should look like a tree, meaning it has base roots, like the feet of the chicken. Okay, it is tapering. Okay, the trunk should be triangular, not V. It should be tapering because that's how nature is. And those bonsai with rough texture are more expensive than those with smooth texture. Some species with rough textures are Pemphigus acidula or Bantige and Tamarindus sp or Sampalok. They have what we call the crocodile bark. Okay, they're more expensive because they look old, unlike those other species like guava or vitex. or ficus that has smooth trunk. Okay, so they command lower price than those that are with textured bark. And third, it should have a naturally small leaves. Okay, if we shrink a tree 100 times, the leaves should also be 100 times smaller. Okay. Just imagine a bonsai that is a mango tree. So the leaves are bigger than its trunk. So the proportion is lost. Meaning, you cannot imagine it as a small tree. Or let's say it is a jackfruit or an avocado. These are trees with big leaves. They're not advised to become bonsai because of their naturally big leaves. So we choose the species with smaller leaves like pemphis, tamarind, bougainvilleas, vitex, premna, and other species. Locally, they're called gas, mulabe, argao, sampalok. Yeah, so that's what I missed in my talk.
Thank you, Nolan. Okay, look at time management, right? Our formal sessions 8 to 9 because the young ones have to leave for 9 o'clock, but we have informal 9 to 10. Then we get your phone numbers, email, and contact numbers. For example, Nolan, you have an online, you want to join, etc. We'll do that a little later. We got actually about 15 minutes left, right? And then we start the informal session. Now, before we finish the formal session, I would like to get right now the contact numbers in case we forget, correct? So you can give me your office number or your personal phone number. Office number is fine because I know you're busy. And I'd like to let you know this is broadcast, as I said, went from 120 to 8,400 a month. We're all over the world. They can call you long distance. Mura lang naman ngayon. Hindi na mahal katulad ng dati. So first of all,
Yeah. I will tell you my cell phone number, 0917
yes,
0917 520 0121.
0999 700 1701.
Thank God your face showed up. Yeah.
0917
Sige. 0917
700
700
2258.